Hello and welcome to Tartan Skirmish. It's the 27th of December today. I'm grabbing 5 minutes myself, so we'll try and finish off a review of this beast, the Worker Kunlun, or Kunlun, depending on how you want to pronounce it. I don't really care. It's a beast of a blaster. So I have been asked by Kev over at UK Nerf War to do a quick video on this. My apologies, Kev. Between university work, becoming ill, and the weather of all things, it's been something about 2 weeks behind schedule for doing this, but managed to grab 5 minutes just now to do this. So, on with the show. It's Worker's brand new 300 FPS bolt action rifle or blaster. Long beast, as you can see. Comes with the entire selling point of it, the bolt action prime, primarily all metal internals, or almost all metal internals, 550mm barrel, comes with a plastic P car, although I've got the Worker B car on it, full shroud, and a iron top rail, iron side rails, and this quite interesting decorative or custom 6-piece Worker Talon mag. Takes normal Talon mags, which is the important thing though. Comes in 3 colours, although UK Nerf Wars only imported 2 of them. These are the white, as you see just now, and the orange. I elected to go for the white, because despite the fact what Blind Geek says, I do believe he will try and steal it the next time I see him at Dishforth, and I like it too much to let him do that, so it's mine. Get your own. Right, what we're going to do just now is we'll jump to a firing demo, and we'll this will be a firing demo that I shot a couple of days ago outside. It is using the 200 spring, and it's firing without this bipod here, which we'll discuss later on. So, let's talk about it. It's not perfect. Start with the faults first, okay? Bad news first. Heads up though, these faults are really picky, okay? And they are really scraping the barrel for me, okay? But cheek rest about a centimetre too high, okay? Means looking down the sights, really difficult. Easily fixable though by getting yourself different sights, either slightly taller 3D printed ones, professionally made ones, or using a sight of some type. I've got a scope in the garage somewhere, but I didn't bother digging it out because I tend to find I'm more of an iron sights player. But easily fixable. Stock. This thing comes off far too easily, okay? Again, easily fixable, a little bit of tacky adhesive, okay? Yes, you could theoretically take it off for the purpose of 3D printing an extender if you find it is really short for your arms for whatever reason. I don't find that thing's a good length, so simple adhesive there. And this thing, this is a waste, right? Fine. I get what they done. They wanted to do something that was for it, but it's designed to use with straight talons, or the straight talon style mags. This is cute, but it's pointless. You could have had that and just had a flared mag well. Okay, again, very personal choice. If you're only ever using it for plinking, fine, yeah, you take 6 shots and you fill it up again. and the lack of a swing point. I'm not too sure if I would ever actually put a swing on this, or if I was putting a swing, I'd put it through the hole at the front and round here at the back, rather than using an attacher for the rails, because I wouldn't want the weight of it, because it's not the lightest blaster. I wouldn't want it to potentially damage the plastic. So you could get some form of swing fitted onto this, but I would more than likely just not use it with a swing. So like I said, faults with it are very few and far between, and what there is faults with it are really picky. Alright, so let's talk about loadout use for this. It's a blaster designed for the 200-300 FPS category, based on the chronograph readings that I and various other individuals who've done videos on this were getting. I get the impression it's designed for the 300 more than it is for the 200 because of the consistency. But you get 2 springs in the box, 1.6 and 1.4, and it's just unscrew a couple of bolts, drop it in, and it's ready to go. Brilliant. Not quite changing it in the middle of a firefight, but you're definitely able to change it within a 5-minute window when you're back at the safe zone. Fantastically done. Interchangeable barrels down to, from the 550 that comes to, down to 310. All threaded, so it's the 550, the 450, the 370 and the 310 it'll take there. Okay. Where does this fit into mine, or where does it fit into my play style? This is going to be my go-to for Dishforth. I'll take the Seagull and I'll tweak it for the sort of 150, 1 joule category that we tend to do the FTD Pro events, and I will be having this as my go-to. I did get Sarah to test if she could prime it. She can prime the 200 easily enough. 300 was more of a no, I'll pass moment. So Sarah's going to stick with her Seagull rather than me having to buy another one of these for her, which, you know, is fine. For the various other things like 200 to 300, because there's quite a few categories, or there's quite a few events rather in the UK. Dishforth, as previously mentioned, the Foam Fest Friday event, which is typically a higher FPS event that they do at Foam Fest on a yearly basis. Bob Shack, Boba Fest, Splatoon, Red Alert, etc. They tend to do the sort of 200 to 300 categories, so you can quite easily have this and take this along there. It's going to be, I can see quite a lot of folk using this during a 2025 event, and for me it's just, it's beautiful to use. It's beautiful, it's so much fun. It really sort of takes me back to like when I was a teenager and at the ATC, where you had the bolt action rifle there. So yeah, it's definitely, there's a definite sensory sort of feedback that you get from it that you don't get with a pump action Springer. But there's nothing wrong with the Seagull. I'm of the opinion that if you're going to buy this, you're buying it because you wanted it already. You're not buying this because you've seen a video and you went, that's a cool blaster, I'll get that. You're buying this because you looked at it and went, I want that. And no amount of convincing you with videos is going to say otherwise. So I think it's very much a sort of Marmite type thing. You either love it or you hate it. For me, I love it. Absolutely fine there. I'm not normally one for buying a blaster as soon as it gets released. I tend to be the sort of person who hangs off for a bit and waits until the community gets its hands on it, and therefore they can work out what issues there are and fixes for it. But Sarah and I do tend to run almost exclusively worker products. We didn't actually realise this was a choice, but between 3 Nightingales, a Phoenix 2.0 and 2 Seagulls, basically we do run, for the last 6 months we've ran worker products in anything 130 and above, and when this got released I just had to get it. So I think Kev wanted me to do a review on one of these on the hope that he would actually manage to sell the ones that he's got, but from what I understand is he's now sold out. So well done, Kev, you know. It is just a joy to hold, to use. It is immensely good construction quality, I think. I love the fact that it's got the interchangeable barrels. It comes with a 550 and goes all the way down to the 310, which looks kind of cute when you've just got this tiny wee nub at the back there, at the front there, and your B car on the front there. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to sort of briefly discuss, which I think is possibly one of the reasons why I love it so much, is that if you're just joining and viewing a video by the channel for the first time, hello. If not, and you've followed the channel for a while, or you know me personally, you'll know that the Tartan Skirmish channel is focused on gameplay and community rather than reviews. So we tend to do quite a lot of emphasis on gameplay videos. Started off as an old knockoff action cam edited in Windows Media Player or Windows Movie Maker, and now we're up to the GoPros and this thing here, the scope cam. Now the scope cam I purchased, I think it was 2023 it was, and I've never really been happy with the footage that comes out of it. Happy enough with the GoPro, but I've never really been happy with the footage that comes from the scope cam. There's nothing wrong with the footage that comes from it. The problem is the movement that you get in the blaster when you use it. And this is where I thought the Kunlun could possibly be a real solid answer to those, because it's got a dedicated bipod space and it's bolt action. Now, I'm not going to bother digging out some footage from one of the prior events there, but when the camera's on here and you're priming it from a front prime position, there's movement in it. No matter what you do, there's movement in it. And of course this is an already zoomed in camera, so the movement is so much more prominent, and there's only so much you can do in video stabilization afterwards. And there's been some cracking shots that, because of the nature of the method for taking a shot, which is you pull the trigger, fire it, you tend to then quickly prime afterwards and then carefully aim. Often the shot of video is disrupted. Whereas if you plunk this down on a stationary surface, got a whole far more superior position to actually take a shot from, and therefore the footage should be so much more stable. Yes, the trade-off is you don't necessarily get the ability to quickly re-aim at something, but what I'm interested in is having high quality shots. So I will quite happily give the GoPro to somebody else, one of the other contributors who's helped out at events. You know, I can see like giving it to Green Hornet and have him running around with the Shield and Nightingale, whilst I hang back with this thing and take more stable shots, and actually find that I can get the use out of a £200 camera, because it's always annoyed me. So this is primarily where it is. Now what I've done is I have taken some footage using this with the bipod. Because of the weather today, this was shot basically firing out of the house, it's shot from the living room, through the kitchen, out into the back garden, and I was essentially sitting on the floor with this resting on a coffee table. So not an ideal setup by any stretch of the imagination, but I will put the footage up and it'll hopefully give an example of the difference between an unsupported shot stability and a shot stability, or the stability from the bipod there. So this is kind of why I have a heavy leaning towards thoroughly enjoying this one, because I will quite happily take the shots slower, more methodical, hang back there and get some decent footage there. I think though, if I was going to an event, even Dishforth, and nobody wanted to take the camera, I don't think I'd do it, because I think the idea of stationary sniper footage where I'm far away from everybody is not very, very interesting to watch. If there's other people there that can contribute footage, that's fine, but if it's just, again, exclusively my GoPro, my scope cam there, I think I'd probably just leave this in the container, which is currently sitting inside a new Pro Essentials case, which is just lovely and snug fit for it there, and go and use like the Riot Shield and the Nightingale combo that I've used previously there. But that's essentially it there. Like I said, you'll love it or you'll hate it, you'll want it or you won't want it at all. But I have genuinely fallen in love with this there. It is such a fantastic blaster to use, to wield. It gives you, it's such a high quality build. And I think quite genuinely, if this is the standard that Worker's going to be producing going forward, even though, for example, the Harrier and the Seagull have been really top quality, if this is the sort of quality that they're going to be producing, I look forward to whatever else it is that Worker's actually going to be producing. So with that, quick message for the state of the channel. We're still here, we're not going anywhere, but unfortunately, because I'm back at university just now, my priority is naturally falling on to making sure work is done for deadlines. I have got, I think it's 4 videos that have been contributed by people that are currently sitting on my external hard drive waiting to be edited. I will get them done when I can and uploaded, but it's definitely looking to be sparse on the channel until sort of like May time, when I finish the university year there. But you know, hopefully, you know, in the time coming up to the end of the year, hopefully you've all had a nice good holiday season there, you know, taking it nice and easy, enjoying plenty of food there and friends and family there. You know, just wherever you are, stay safe, you know, and we'll catch you in the new year. Cheers.